Hello, it's Nikki. How are you doing? Today I've got another little behind the scenes peek into a process that I've been working on and that I continue to work on actually as I progress forward. I am always that person who's analysing and tweaking and really feeling into what I am experiencing and what my clients are experiencing. So one of the things that's really important to me is that clients get results. I really do not benefit in any shape or form from taking somebody's money or allowing people to buy something from me that doesn't get them the result that they want. And I always want my client to leave our time together in a better place than they were before they came, and to feel really good about it, to have that sense of like, oh, I'm so glad that I did that. Oh, that was money well spent. Or this surprised me in this way. Or I came in wanting this and I got these other things as a bonus. For me, that kind of feedback is really, really important, because I'm not one of those people who just wants to go through the motions, like you pay me for an hour, I'll show up for an hour, we'll do that, and then we'll both leave and, job well done. I want to get that fizz in my business where people have that, oh, that was really good. That's the energy that I'm looking for. And today I want to take you behind a process that I often do for myself, but I also help clients with. And this is when my rather unconventional career up until this point really comes into play. And what I mean by this is, because I haven't had a corporate background, I never feel like I get stuck or too attached to other people's rules, because I don't know what those rules are. So whenever I'm creating, I'm always working from that space of what would this feel like? How would this work? And I'm always starting from that blank piece of paper. And sometimes I look at that blank piece of paper and I think, oh, I wish I had some kind of corporate rules stuck around, tucked away somewhere that I could bring out. But, that's not the case. But when I'm looking at excellence, I'm not just looking at how that feeling is as somebody just leaves the experience. I'm always looking at these little tiny tweaks that I can make along the way. And one of my great wishes, I guess, that sounds very dramatic. I don't quite mean it to be that dramatic, but one of my wishes is to work with people that I'm really going to be able to help. I am always coming from that place of wanting to be useful. And so there are times and situations where sometimes I'm asked to do things and I'll say, I don't know if I'm the right person, or I could do this version of that, but what specifically you're asking, I don't think I'm going to be able to deliver that. And I've got really clear with my boundaries and really understand where my strengths are, especially as I've got older. But in order to work with your ideal clients, my feeling is that you have to know a lot about them in advance, and you have to be able to really convey what you are all about, and equally they can convey what they're all about. And so if you're working with somebody for a longer period of time, or you're going to be booked by somebody, try wherever you can to have a conversation, because those conversations are really going to reveal so much information and also give you a sense of who that person is. And if you can see their face as well, especially if it's a Zoom thing, great, take that opportunity. One thing that I was really conscious of in terms of producing excellence is making sure per minute or per hour somebody was getting value for their money, value per minute or value per hour. I am definitely from that era of putting money into a payphone. And so when I'm pricing things, or when I'm looking at how that transaction's going to work, I do have that in the back of my mind. Like, I don't ever want to get 15 minutes into a conversation and somebody work out what that hourly rate is, divide it by 4 and go, I haven't really, we haven't really delved into where we need to go. We've just kind of talked about our day and asked each other how we are. So I knew that I really wanted to have that sense when I worked with a client in that coaching session that I was ready, I was good to go. And maybe that's kind of my dancing background, that even though as a dancer you always begin a class with some kind of warm-up, but my teachers have definitely said to me over the years, like, don't come into that warm-up cold. Like, you need to be semi-warm, and the warm-up is just adding to it. And I've really had that philosophy of being ready before I need to. And I love that when I'm working with clients, is making sure that I am fully prepped and ready for them, and so are they. So when I first started, I used to find that this used to be kind of this friendly energy of, how's your day been? So my question for you is, what do you need to know in advance, and how can you welcome that process? How can you support that process so everybody feels prepped and ready to go? The next thing that I want to talk about is the continuation of what the experience is. And I began this process probably about 6 years ago. And this came from my own need, I guess, that my parents always taught me, like, if you got good service, or if somebody helped you along the way, or they were part of your process, you should let them know the outcome. So I remember this man, he used to like put together, I can't even remember, I don't even know what he was, some kind of music engineer, but he used to transcribe music and do me a tape, basically. So when I used to do dancing as a kid, you'd always kind of hand in your tape before you would do your dance. And so he would play something into a tape and I would have that tape. And so if that process went well, my mum would say, phone this guy and say thank you very much, and you were awarded whatever medal it was. And that process has always been instilled with me, having that sense of being able to tell somebody where you're up to and continue that momentum and those good vibes. And I really realized this in terms of coaching, is that I wanted people to have that continuation. So when they woke up the next day, so they might leave the coaching session like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm brimming of ideas. Everything's kind of buzzing around my head. And then they might wake up the next day and go, oh, I've now got to do this thing now, or I'm not really sure where to go next, or I feel a bit overwhelmed, or what if I can't, or maybe this isn't meant for me, or you start to second guess yourself. So I really realized that week of email support afterwards was really fundamental to the process, because it kept people in the groove. It sort of, I guess all those sort of fitness boot camps do it, don't they? That they're like, we're going to all exercise together, and don't worry, we've cooked your dinner as well, which is healthy, because then you're in that momentum of doing it. Anyway, I really found that process to produce that excellence, because people were actually getting the result. People were moving forward. One final thing that I have done very, very recently is I have changed my signature Your Personal Brand Plan program from a 3-month to a 6-month program. And this is because I am a busy woman and my clients are busy people, and I don't like that feeling, A, of being rushed, or B, feeling like I'm behind, feeling like I'm not on top of stuff. Or, you know, I'm sure everybody who's a parent has had that moment where their child comes to them and they're like, oh, did you get the, like, oh, did you read the letter? I've got to take this thing in today. And you're like, what? How did that happen? Have I missed it? What do I need to do? And I know over the course of the last couple of years, there's been a real sense for many of my clients that they're juggling all of the things, that they are spinning so many plates. And actually, another thing that I know is when you want to make change, even though the internet will tell you differently, it does take time. You need that time to tweak, to experiment, to learn, to implement, to almost scrap everything and start again. You need that space in which to work from. So that's what I've done. I've changed it, and I am really, really excited about doing it in that way, because also from my perspective, I get to support somebody for 6 months as well. And that feels really good. And I guess that's a bonus number 5. If it feels good to you, it's probably going to feel good to your client, and it'll feel good when you talk about it. It will feel that it's purposeful, that it's done with discernment, and people will pick up on that, rather than being like, oh, I don't know, I didn't really know what to write, so I just did this. If it's all kind of random, it's not going to support you in the best possible way. So where next? Okay, so let me go through some resources that might help you going forward from here. The first one I would say is go to my freebie section and get the 5 signs it might be time to shake up your prices. That's going to be really useful. If you're thinking about pricing and packaging, go over there and you can access that on my website. So you can do an online course, or you can work with me one-on-one, or you can do the whole your personal brand plan for the next 6 months. So starting now, or if you want to start it in January, absolutely fine. You're going to have me in your pocket for the next 6 months, and you're going to be able to come to the monthly meetings. And whether you choose the DIY version or the done with me version, you still get one-on-one support with the DIY version as well. So I will be with you for the next 6 months. And there are payment plans, so you can pay in full, or you can do a monthly payment, and it's an exciting time. So let me know what you took away from today. Let me know what's going to be useful going forward, what your aha moments are. And I just want to say thank you for listening to the podcast, for engaging in my content. I've checked my stats for this month, or last month rather, and I'm just so thrilled. So I'm so glad that it's helping so many of you, and I'm sending lots of love.